Good morning, everyone. Our next speaker is Derek Lovrenich of Insure Ecosystem, and he'll be talking about insurance technology and blockchain. You're doing it wrong. Please welcome Derek.
Thank you very much. I'd like to make sure this works. Yep, all right. My name is Derek Lovrenich. I'm with Insure Ecosystem. And first, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for showing up at 9 a.m. to listen to insurance, right? That's wow. It was a tough billing that we had, and then with the weather as well, I guess this is really going to be exciting stuff, right? So I guess we'll start here. We are a blockchain-enabled, decentralized, end-to-end insurance software platform, as the sign says. And what makes us different from other insurance platforms is we aim to bring value to the entire insurance industry. So from retailer all the way to reinsure, and we're going to do that without kicking out or exiting any of the existing players. By getting everyone on the same system, we're able to achieve 20 to 30% savings in premium, and then we're able to pass that savings on in lower premiums and create trust and transparency at every level. For the last 15 years, we've been going around and automating insurance workflows, building raters for carriers, doing these sorts of things. We've gone from having servers in our closet to servers in our office to servers in the cloud, and now we've gone blockchain. In 2017, we released Policy Blockchain. And the beginning of this year, we released our first commercial insurance product for cyber liability for tax preparers. So they're able to do that. That's full blockchain, and we're able to show transparency to the reinsurer all the way down to the retailer as well. So we're doing some testing on our personal lines products. We're going to be releasing our insurance program foundry, which is, we're going to talk about that a little later. We're also getting into P&P insurance, P2P insurance, and then I'm most excited about our risk incubation. So we're starting a captive in the Caymans, and we're going to be incubating risk and allowing programs to come to market much, much faster. Normally it takes anywhere from 3 years for your insurance product to be developed and priced and then rolled out to the distribution, and we're going to want to shorten that to a matter of months. Currently, we have over 3,000 insurance agents running on our platform, producing we have about 70,000 insureds that currently go to our website, our mobile apps to download their policies. And we're doing 15,000 quotes a month through what we're calling Genesis agents. Now, these Genesis agents are people who understand the disruption. They understand winter is coming, right? So these are insurance professionals that are forward thinkers. They understand that they need to be a champion of the disruption, and they don't want to be a victim of the disruption. And before we get into victims and InsurTech, right, is there anybody here that's in InsurTech? No. Is there anybody here that sells insurance or is in the sales distribution? Awesome, awesome. Has anybody bought insurance in this room? Okay, cool. I know I can get you with that one. Like it's a nice little walk. So I'll let you in on a little secret. Money, right now, money loves InsurTech, and record amounts of money is coming in. And why? Well, it's easy to know. Money loves money. Insurance is $1 trillion a year industry. There are billions of customers. There are millions of salespeople that are trained, a few of them in this room, and there are hundreds of thousands of products. So scalability and being able to offer a solution and scale it up, it's completely primed and ready for this. Now, we're seeing that record numbers are coming. We saw 50 financing transactions that happened in Q3 of 2017. Now, most of these entrants are coming in. They're getting millions of dollars. It's almost like the ICO, how ICOs have kind of come up. Same thing is happening in insurance technology. And what they're doing is they're claiming that they're disrupting the industry. If you read a lot of these, they don't do white papers because they don't want to expose it like we do, but they do their write-ups and their investment portfolios. And when you see that, you see they're automating the process of the sale, right? So you're going from application to sending it to market, to eventually an insured being able to say, okay, I want to buy this product and I get it. So they're automating that sales channel. That's still a top-down automation. I don't see that as disruption. I see that as automating a sales process, automating, you're taking a really nice form and you're breaking it up and you're putting it in 11 steps and you make it easy for people. That's convenience. That's not disruption. So where is this disruption really going to come from? It's not going to come from anything top down in our mind. It's going to have to come from power to the people, right? And blockchain, why we're all here, why we've got 2 conferences set up, why all this happened is because blockchain is supposed to be that disruptor. And we're seeing in 2018, 2017 was the year of Bitcoin, and it got, in my industry, I used to not be able to talk about blockchain. It used to be something it was a dirty word. Like the minute I told my clients we were doing blockchain, they were all thinking, oh, now all our information is going to be out there on the internet. No, we don't want to do that. So it's been a dirty word, and now it's becoming, I would say it's getting curb appeal, right? So now people are wanting to come and learn about it, and the reinsurers are wanting to say, oh, well, how can I utilize this technology for me to get visibility? And so now it's coming and we can actually talk about it. So what you're seeing now is everywhere in this conference, I'm sure you're going to find the industry-specific blockchain solutions. And they're going to claim that they're going to be making 20 to 30% off of frictionless transactions. And it's this eliminate the middleman. And like I'm pretty sure, I mean, this is Texas, I'm pretty sure somewhere there's a lynch mob running around looking for a middleman to eliminate somewhere. It may not be here because this seems like a tamer crowd, but over there, I bet there is, right? So if you get over there and you see those guys, and they've got one of these middlemen cornered, let them know they're targeting the wrong middleman. So you come into insurance, and I know this, if you go and eliminate a middleman, a wholesaler, right, you're going to make 5%. Where is your 20%? You're going to need, you promised your investors more. So where are you going to go get that? Well, we're going to make it easy. We're just going to automate the broker too. Let's just get rid of him. So now you've got 15%. Well, it's close enough to 20. Your investors will probably be okay with that. But what you've done is you have eliminated and automated you've removed a very important step in the insurance sale process. The vital handshake between a retailer and a wholesale broker is the retailer is the advocate for the insured. The wholesaler or underwriter, they are the advocate for the product. And without those 2 people sitting at a table and making sure that the decisions are good for both parties, you're not going to have a healthy insurance product. It's going to blow up. I've had the joy of being able to be a part of some of these that blew up. Our technology was involved. The business owners wanted to completely automate out the agents. And when I first came into the industry, I thought, hey, get rid of them. Why are they there? We can automate that. So once that's eliminated, you create a very unstable program. And it's not all technology's fault. The insurance agents are vulnerable. This part of this segment is very, we call it techno-dumb, right? They don't understand. They're salespeople. They don't want to learn computers. They don't want to understand all of that. And so when you're standing with a handful of money on the street, and you know that you need technology, you know your industry drives on technology, and you've got a pocket full of money, but you have no idea how it works, that's a recipe to get mugged, right? I mean, you're standing out there, you don't know what you're doing, and you got your money out there. So what's happening is these guys are getting taken advantage of. And those folks that are taking advantage of people, well, we're affectionately calling techno thugs or data thugs, right? They're coming into the industry, and we're seeing that their solutions do not provide real value. We went from having maybe 5 companies that was providing the services that we were, to now we're seeing 40 to 50 different companies that are providing. We're seeing that complete explosion in tech that we're seeing on our side. We're seeing that create fragmented solutions. And you have people that didn't want to log into 4 systems. Now you're getting, because it's top down, so you're getting the money from the carriers, you're getting the money from the big guys, and then you're creating these innovations that are essentially just giving insurance agents more websites to go in and log into. And then that's not, again, not disruption. If you want to get into InsurTech, and thank goodness there's nobody here that does, but if you do, or you know a friend that does, make sure to let them know, do not be a data thug. Do not go out there and build a pretty form and then sell leads to insurance agents. There's so many of these out there that are doing it, and all that's doing is that is creating higher insurance for all of us. So you have a $50 lead that gets layered on top, you put your information out there, you're getting it sent out blasted to 100 different sources through email, and you have no control of that. And so what we feel is that the true disruption has to come by power to the people. There is no revolution, there is no anything I've ever seen that's come top down, right? And no industry's ever done that. And right now, the money that's being invested in InsurTech is being invested top down. So it's gonna be very, very hard for that to happen. So how do we get the power back into the hands of the people, right? So we have to identify first what is the unit that we all need, and that's the data, right? We understand that. So getting that data back into the hands of the people will fuel our revolution. Once we get our data into a blockchain or into a specific ecosystem, we will be able to rid ourselves, and all of us now, anybody that buys insurance, you'll be able to rid yourself of the parasitic environment that these data aggregators and that they've created for us. We can get out of that, we can take control of our data, we can share our data points to insurers or through our agent, through smart contracts. We're not sending our system, like I know agents that their model is they get an email of somebody's information and then they take that email and they blast it out to 100 other people. And that's not secure. I mean, these guys are leaving their phones at restaurants and on airplanes, and there's all these clients' data out there. So we need to take that back. And once we get that power back in our hands, the people's hands, we'll be able to administer that out, and you can achieve true anonymous quoting. Because I don't know, I've been in insurance a long time, but I've yet to find an actuarial exposure that is based upon a telephone number or an email address, right? It's always about the data that goes along with it. But because it's a sale, they need to get your information to call you back. So what we want to propose is that we eliminate the sale of insurance and we create an InsurTech singularity. And the InsurTech singularity is when the innovators in technology and the innovators in the insurance side, the guys that make the programs and pool up all the risk, they can use one system to use modules and build not only from the modeling of their insurance side, but then allow innovators, like many of those that are at this conference, to be able to use a stack of microservices to create documents, to send emails, to e-signature, to trust me, you don't want to learn about the way surplus lines tax works in Kentucky. You don't want to learn it. Just don't waste your time. We've done it. We want to provide a way for innovators to come in and add their innovations, their technical innovations as a plugin, right? So you're able to come in and you're able to set a fee of gross written premium. You're able to say, I want to charge, 0.5%. And whenever that happens, whenever a innovator now on the insurance side says, okay, I'm going to use your innovation here as part of my insurance platform. And so as that's sold, instantly at bind time, we take, through a smart contract, you're obviously all wrapped in there, so at bind time, that fee, that money is then pulled out, we call it juice, right? And then you're given your juice in the form of our crypto token. And so you're not having to chase down money from insurance companies. Trust me, I've done it. It's a real pain. I can get into some stories about chasing money from insurance companies. It's tough. You think it's tough when you're trying to make a claim. When you're actually a vendor and you're trying to get a bill out of them, they think of a lot of excuses. So this eliminates that. It normalizes the playing field and creates very much like an app store type innovation platforms where you can build your code, you can own your code still, you can own your innovation, and you can layer it on top of our distribution platform. And so we're ready for that now. So we just released our beta program. If you're a developer and you want to get into InsurTech, or you're an agent and you've got a buddy that's like, he knows how to do technology and you're going to get him going, or if you know of somebody that has an active product, what we're doing is we're giving access to our low-level services. So you can come in and use our building blocks. If you already have your project in flux and in development, you can use our RESTful APIs to be able to get everything that you need out of us. If you want to build your entire core system, well, you can do that. We're JavaScript, Node, JS, that's our whole mean stack. So if you're wanting to build ground up, we can do that. And If you're looking for timelines, then I would definitely, we're going to be out in June 2018, so we'll have our developer platform ready for production. So because this is already an existing system that's transacting insurance for general liability, transacting insurance for workers' comp, and that, you can feel safe in knowing that we're going to hit these deadlines because we're already doing it. It's more of just creating something to allow the developers to learn exactly how to use our platform and mold those innovations for that. So before I get a little too far, our website here is Insurco.io. You can go there and sign up for our data side. I have with me one of our master blocksmiths, as we like to call it, and he has helped us build and innovate our foundry, is what we call it, the insurance program foundry. So I'd like to invite Dimitri up here and give him some forum to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah, thank you, Derek, for the presentation. And I'd like to continue on the point Derek brought, which I think is very important. It's not very easy to innovate, and I'm sure many of us know who are here. And I'd like to maybe talk a little bit about the concept of innovation and how difficult it is to get this done in a real, meaningful, and sensible way. So when we talk about Bitcoins and blockchain, we all know and we all understand it's an automation of trust. And business runs on trust. But then when we face a pointed question, what will my business look like if I automate the trust? Often there is a moment of uncomfortable silence. What does it really mean in business, the word of automation of trust? What the trust is non-physical, it's omnipresent. What does it really mean that when we're automating the trust? And I want to use the analogy, the phrase that ancient Greek philosopher Xenophon once said, if the horses would learn how to draw, they would draw gods to look like horses. And this goes back to the point Derek made it, that top-down does not work. I mean, we have to figure out how we make it bottom-up, but it's not easy. And my point here is that automation of trust is a true paradigm shift. And when the paradigm shift takes place, it's dangerous to apply old ways of thinking. It simply does not work. As an IT professional myself, we're used to build the systems according to predefined specs. And what is different today, that there are no specs. We're challenged with the dilemma to define the specs and build the kind of the system that never existed before. So when I personally face the task of defining the specs for the kind of system that never existed before, I'm forced to define every component of it in a very concrete term. So what is the trust? It's a relationship. It's an entity relationship. And what is the contract? The contract is aggregate combination of complex relationships that are formed into agreement. So insurance contract is the most complex form of contractual relationships that consist of hedging, delivering the promise, managing financial and operational risks, operating the complex sets of cash flows and assets and liabilities. And what blockchain allows us to do is to build the kind of insurance offerings that never been possible before. Self-executing contracts that are distributed and can be embedded into real economic places where the risk actually exists. And those contracts are capable of automatic claims, automatic risk assessments, automatic payouts. And this, when it's done right, will turn the insurance industry on its head. No more bulky and expensive back office systems, no more complex and confusing policies that do not serve the purpose and act more as tax imposing entities than risk mitigation tools. And the new insurance contracts with high level automation and placed right by where the risk is carry the promise of turning the insurance industry from that tax imposing entity into an actual value creating elements of the economy. Thank you.
Any questions? Awesome. Mm-hmm. 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 Fun. Yeah. 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 Sure. Carrier-wise, I'll just go into industry-wise. I mean, carriers, we have over 80 carriers, so it'd be really hard for me to name them all right now, obviously. It's on our site. It'll be there. Let's see. Oh, awesome. So what we're going to do is we understand that the client is yours. So if you're going to be the broker, we want to make you to be able to own that client, much like a broker of record, right? You're going to be that person that's going to be there. So we code you in. You're baked in to that decision process. We provide you as the broker the tools to be able to create a website, to be able to create your lead gen. We bring in all of you don't need to go get an agency management system anymore. Like, why would you need an agency management system? We have all of that, all of those functionalities already in the system. So that's how we're getting the broker in. And as far as, I mean, we've got comp, we've got general liability, we've got just trucking, cargo, we've got package products. So we're pretty deep into that, and we're working with CNA, Travelers, Hartford, all of those folks at some level. They'll be in. Is there any other? No, wholesalers, absolutely. The wholesalers is the big deal. So we have Atlas General. They're one of the wholesalers, one of the bigger wholesalers. We have Bindesk. We have Paramount General Insurance Agency. We've got Appalachian. They're pretty big. So yeah, I mean we're trying to run the whole gamut there. Is there other questions? Yeah.
I have a question on the pricing side here. Part of the presentation, you're saying that because of the aggregation of data, that would allow for more efficiency in the pricing of the insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is this system going to incorporate all historical data from the carriers? Because the way that current insurance is priced is using historical data.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at past history, the pattern of claims versus the premiums to set a price that's equitable to the
Right.
To the customer,
Risk
as
pool,
well
yeah.
as to the marketplace and compared to other carriers, it's competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So does this system use all historically aggregated data, or are you looking forward to say going forward from this point on?
Both. I mean, we rely on the carrier's actuarial data, so they're going to come in with that, right? And we're going to give them a hook to be able to run their CAT modeling or whatever their special underwriting sauce is that's going to price their product. So we allow them to bring that into our system. Now, we're also connected with large data sources, so we're able to provide validation and we're able to provide those types of things that help them understand that this risk that's coming in the door is truly the risk I want in my risk pool. So we're kind of doing both sides of that.
So one follow-up question.
Yeah, sure.
Some companies, they see that their competitive advantage is taking out premium and then investing it, to get a higher rate of return.
Right.
Sort of subsidize
Mm-hmm.
pricing. So how would that fit into the system? Because that's company specific.
Yeah.
Not so if you're aggregating all just claims data, that doesn't tell the entire story.
No, it doesn't. No, and that's part of the data thugs. Like, you're aggregating one part of data and you're running it, and it's not really creating any value to the entire chain. And so I think pricing and the way claims data and the way all that kind of feeds into it, we've got to let the innovators in insurance side be able to tell us and not dictate how their data is going to play. Like, we need to allow them to be able to bring the data to the table and say, this is the pricing model I want, these are the back office underwriting questions that we need, this is the claims process. Like, we allow them to tell us that. And so they form that.
So I think what you're really looking at is a partnership between
Yeah.
understanding of the new
Exactly.
and people who've done insurance for 30 years.
Exactly.
To partner with all of these, and then partnering with technical expertise.
Yes.
Niching.
Innovation through collaboration is our mantra. Is our mantra.
So like whereas in before you're looking at competition between all the different entities,
Mhm.
you want to create a platform in which people can collaborate in order to
Yes.
bring a more efficient marketplace.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to be respectful of the next speaker, so we're out of time. If there's anybody that has any other questions, we'll be over here and we can kind of run through that. So thank you so much for coming, and we're looking forward to speaking with you.
Derek Lovrenich from InsureCo.